But what's your perspective on that 2050 moment? I mean, that's going to be a significant moment in British history. The first time, of course, that Britain's ethnic demographics would have been minority white British. I think a lot of people in the UK are rightly concerned about that.
Yeah, of course they're right to be concerned about it, because even if there were no negatives that came from it, and I've always said that immigration brings some positives and some negatives, and you've got to work out where the positives start to run down and where the negatives start to become overwhelming. But yes, even if there were no positive, negative thing to work out, at least people ought to be able to acknowledge that there has been, that constitutes, in the course of under a century, one of the most significant population changes, I think, in history, really. And if, I don't know, if, for instance, Pakistan had moved in a century from minority white to majority white, I think that Pakistanis and others would be alarmed by that, or at least would notice it, and they might even ask, why has that happened and why does it need to happen? But we British seem to be uniquely unwilling or unable to speak up for ourselves, defend ourselves, argue for our culture, and much more. And so I don't think any of that is inevitable. One of the interesting things about demographic change is that there are both parts of it where it's one of the best predictors, and on the other hand is also at the same time not absolutely inevitable. If a British government of any stripe decided that, for instance, the British public had had enough demographic change, then they could change that.